So something that I did just notice myself and that the players reminded me is that this isn't just a bracket with our players and of course a big event, but there's also a bit of a bonus that we do host for our own tournaments as well, but it's also being held here. There is a random participation raffle as well. Let's go. There is going to be a random participation raffle as well. So yeah, our players were excited. They were excited, man. They were excited. Do love to see it. But now, though, we're going to be settling in and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Alkion, and we have our blue Protoss player. From the land of Poland, representing Sidestorm Gaming, it is Gerald. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the red Terran player representing the Platinum Heroes. It is Nicoract. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It's time for the random raffle. Random raffle? Oh, sorry. It was on my mind. Predictions. There we go. a different form of Gamba. A different form. But get your Gamba going as predictions are now open in the chat. Place your bets on who you think will be this week's champion. Or this event's champion, I should say. The first champion for the JEC of 2024. Best of luck in the chat. Best of luck. As we are going to be opening up, we do have Nicoract going for an economic opener, going for a Rax expand. Oh! As we do see, Gerald attempts to delay and does for a second or two, but not for too much longer. CC is thrown down. Likewise, Gerald back at home, going for the Gate Cyber into Nexus. Centered opener out of Gerald, economic opener out of Nicoract. We're calming things down. Here we go. We are settling into those finals. Reaper moving out across the map. Again, the goal of the Reaper is to not just get some economic damage, but also to scout our opponent to try to get a read on whether it's a Twilight Council, Robo, or Stargates. We'll see if Nicoract can piece it all together. As for now, he's going to be zoned away by the Adept. Does escape to safety. And oh my god, we are being hyper greedy. Okay. I like this. Like, considering how aggressive and how cheesy Nicoract was in the last series, he's opening up Rax Expand into an insanely fast 3CC. So, very greedy build here. It looks like it's going to be 3CC, 3 Rax out of Nicoract, and it's going to be on Gerald to respond, to react, and to punish this. Yeah, there's a third Rax on the way, so 3CC, 3 Rax out of Nicoract, and Gerald, the pressure's on. The pressure's on the Protoss. Now, the power of this build for Nicoract is, one, this is going to be a stim timing. True, it's not going to hit as hard as like a proper 3 Rax, because this is a little bit more macro-oriented. But the real power in this build lies in the mid-game. Because this third base is so fast, and because we're being as efficient as possible, like mainly focusing on marine production, it does allow us to snowball out of control in the mid-game. Oh, as we do have a bit of a pause. But it does allow us to snowball out of control in the mid-game once we get the third base up and running, and we can take a massive economic lead. So we'll see if Geralt does scout this and does punish this. As for now, to have a bit of a pause. It's all good. And maybe some Uber Eats at the door, getting our food. Understandable. Is understandable. That's all good. Looks like our players.
Game resumed.
Looks like we're back. We're good. I say Uber Eats, potentially Cat as well. There have been actually some times, there have been multiple times in the past couple of weeks where we've had like a cat pause, where like a cat jumps on the keyboard or jumps on the desk or on the lap of the player, and they have to like, hold on. Like have to deal with Cat. Ah, okay. We understand. One of the moments, one of the highlights of WTL this year is gonna be when Nicoract played. I think it was like maybe 3 weeks ago. It was I think it was like round 10, maybe round 9 or round 10 of WTL, where Nicoract was playing for the Platinum Heroes, of course, and in the middle of the game, his cat jumped up and just placed itself in front of Nicoract while he was playing. And the crazy thing about that occurring is that Nicoract did not ask for a pause. He just dealt with it. He's like, okay, I'll just play with this cat in front of my face. Like, so okay, fair enough. So that's at least one of my highlight moments for WTL. It was good. Do you recommend the VODs if you ever do want to check it out yourself? But yes, Nicoract's cat did want all the attention. And did not pause. The cat knows who runs the place. Ah. As we do see Nicoract now taking his third base, we are in position to delay. So we do manage to pick up a couple of Marines. 2 Marines, 2 SCVs, Gerald not losing a single Stalker. Nicely done. As Nicoract is going to be chasing Gerald away. As a reminder, stim has completed. And we do stim a handful of Marines. I love that we're not stimming the entire army. Nicoract being very careful. Speaking of, we do just dive in. We go for the dive. Colossus is ready. Shield batteries as well. And we do defend. Gerald does hold. Nicoract being forced back. But what's important is that Nicoract wasn't really looking for damage. Wasn't really looking to, you know, punish a third base or break through. Bearing in mind that Nicoract was just protecting and defending his fast third, which is fully saturated. Third base getting fully saturated. Meanwhile, Gerald going for his own counterattack. How the pendulum does swing. But more Marauders have amassed. And Gerald will respect it. He will back off. Whew, okay. As Gerald backs off, Nicoract going to be able to stabilize, getting to his own starport production. Second starport on the way. Interesting. Okay. Getting into double starport production. Likewise, Gerald. Okay, I like this response. So Gerald, he sees the fast third. Like, bearing in mind that we're on an even base count and Nicoract is ahead in SCVs plus mules. This is a game state that should not really be occurring. Nicoract has a massive economic lead. It's a big lead here for Nicoract. How do we catch up? Goal base. The goal base is a way for Gerald to stabilize. And we'll see if he can. We'll see if he can saturate and maintain that gold. Until then, we do see a 4CC already on the way for Nicoract. Likewise, Gerald setting up scouting pylons to make sure his goal base is secure. Zelt's moving out as well. And we have entered a little bit of a lull period here between both Nicoract and Gerald. And a lot of this is going to come down to whether Nicoract is able to punish the goal base now. Get his own 4th base up and running. Both bases are still building up. Ghost Academy's on the way. Dark Shrine for Gerald. Disruptor production has begun. And once we get our 4th base up and running, then Gerald can afford a 2nd robo and double disruptor production. We're getting there. We're getting into the mid-game. It's a game state that we didn't really get to see between Christiana and Nicoract. We weren't able to really embrace that kind of game state too much. But we're getting there this time. Getting there. So I'll say thread in the 3rd. They get 2 SCVs. We get 2 SCVs. Nicoract now getting its own expansion. 4th base on the way is scouted by Gerald, is aware. Knowing is one thing, denying it is another. See the Zeltz getting ready for the dive. So it looks like the goal here for Gerald is to distract the main army. He's trying to keep Nicoract's attention at the 3rd. And here come those zealots. Never goes off. delays that center tower. Oh, doesn't quite connect. And Zelsa get into the mineral line. SCVs are going down. That's a lot of SCVs. 12. Not bad. 12 SCVs go down for 12 Zealots. A 1-to-1 trade. It's not ideal for Gerald. I'm sure he was hoping for something a little bit more efficient, but I mean, considering he has the gold, we can afford to throw away some Zealots. It's only minerals. And it does allow Gerald to take a massive worker lead. But here comes the main army. Nicoract is maxed out. And again, he maxes out a little faster than normal because of the fast third. Oh, this army looks terrifying. That's a lot of Marauders. That's how many? That's 27 Marauders. At the same time, Zellarame does hit the natural. Nicoract getting distracted. Gerald's pulling apart his attention. Zells towards the natural. Gerald cannot break the main army, but he is delaying the economy. Even getting into the main. Not bad. Zells busts into the main way, so clicking on forward as well. Where are the Novas? The Novas are going off. Good splits here from Nicoract. Avoids 2 Novas. Does force back the main army. Not a bad hold. Nicoract, he shuts down the Zealots. He shuts down most of the gateway reinforcements. Still down in workers. And Geralt did plummet in supply. He does at least maintain most of his disruptors in Colossus. At least. The Zealot Rabbi moving out. But in a head-to-head fight, I do favor Nicoract against this main army. There's just not a lot of support. So I'll say run into the reinforcements, they run into the bio. Zealots being cleaned up. The Nexus on the way. Nicoract moves out. Novas go off. Major connections. Again, Geralt just buying time. Nicoract wants to dive in. Novas will delay. We have 2 more Novas left. Sorry, 3 more Novas left. 6 disruptors in total. Novas are resetting. Zealot run by. Sorry, DT counterattack does hit the 4th base. Zealots into the 3rd, into the natural. And DT's in every single mineral line. Workers are going down. The Invisible Man is popping off. At the same time, Nicoract did deny the 4th base, or the 6th base even. Is that a kill? Ooh, that was. Planetary went down. That was a kill on the Planetary. Nicoract stuck on 3 bases. Remember, Geralt is on 5. Coming in first round. Novas go off. Some okay connections. We got a Marauder. The Dark Templar, they just keep coming in. They keep going. We keep going as we try to chase down the army. The Novas will connect. Again, pushing into disruptors is so difficult, and as we push out the Zealot Rabbis, they just keep coming in. As Geralt double expands, getting up to 7 bases. Getting a sick, that's 7 Nexus. Looks like we have overextended. Big catch here from Nicoract. Takes down the disruptors, most of them, but does take some Novas to the face. GG gets called. We run out of steam. 49 SCVs go down as the Zealots and DTs wreak havoc, and Gerald will take game number 1. GG. A very intense game, and Nicoract did end up building up towards a terrifying army, but he was never able to make use of it. Every time Nicoract tried to move out, just non-stop Zealot counterattacks, DT counterattacks as well. There was just non-stop harassment coming out from Geralt, and it did overwhelm. It did just do critical damage in the end, getting over 40 SCV kills, killing the 4th base as well. And Nicoract, he could just never move out. He tried though. That did end up killing him in the end. And with that, Geralt takes the lead. But as a reminder, that was merely game 1. That was only game number 1. We have plenty more ahead of us. plenty more in this best of 5 as now we're jumping into game number 2 on Crimson Court. Whew, let's go. Cats know they run the world. Humans only there until they invent a can opener operational by pause. Ah, true. We have to make sure that technology never exists. Ah. Get rid of the poor can openers. Ah, no. As we're getting into our next game and spawning in the top right hand corner of Crimson Court, we have our Polish Protoss player, the Blue Protoss representing Storm Gaming, leading the series 1-0. It is Gerald. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have the red Terran player, down in the series, but only down by 1 game, looking to bounce back. Representing the Platinum Heroes, it is Nicoract. Now really, Setsuna, you have to go one step further. You have to go one step further in the conspiracy, okay? It isn't just that, you know, we're denying these can-operated opener pause. You know what I mean? Really, it's the fact that really cans were invented to keep cats out of their own food. That's the purpose of the can fact. It all makes sense. That is the reason. Think about it. Aye. As we are moving out across the map, we're going to be scouting, checking each other, of course, with the SCV and said probe. And we're loading into Crimson Court. Interesting map, is a little bit more macro-oriented. Reason why I say this, of course, is because the portions of the map are just cut off with minerals, with rocks. It does take that much more effort to break out and to gain access to those locations. And if we do end up... Oh, that is a kill on the probe. That should not have happened. Big loss there for Gerald. Aye. Probe does go down. But because that these areas are a little bit more difficult to gain access to, if you mine through these minerals, you can securely take a 3rd, take a 4th base, take a 5th base as well. And it is harder to punish, and that can lead to longer game states. It's a longer games. Let's see if we can get there. Well, speaking of, it looks like we're entering a similar game state. That is a 2nd Rax. Okay. Followed by a 3rd Rax. So, Nicoract, after game 1, if you recall in game 1, he went 3 CC3 Rax. This time, a straight up 3 Rax out of Nicoract. We're going to be working towards a very strong stim timing. And now the pressure is on Gerald to scout this, to confirm, and to react. Oh boy. As 3 Raxes can hit like a truck. There are also 3 Rax variations where you pull the boys and you just go all in. True. That can be another possibility. As we can see, Gerald opening up Twilight Council, going for a Blink-based opener, not a Stargate. Gerald is poking in. Does poke in, just getting a read of what's going on, trading with the main army, but has yet to gain access to the main. And shouldn't be able to, not with this kind of army setup. Just poking in, getting a bit of damage. Behind this, a Blink is on the way. 2 extra gateways, going to be 3-gate Blink from Gerald. And we saw a similar setup here earlier today between Gerald and Honmono, where Honmono had likewise gone for 3 racks and was shut down by the 3-gate Blink Stalkers. We'll see if Gerald can do the same once again. Shall see. Behind this, Gerald working towards the bay already. Interesting. So really safe play out of Gerald. He's going for the bay before the 3rd base. This does mean earlier Colossus production. And Colossus are exactly what you want against this kind of build. It is what you want. because it's so bio-heavy. I mean, Marauders are amassing, because we have noticed it was a Twilight Council opener. I've taken note. Marauders are building up. The Observer does get eyes on all 3 Raxes. Now we are 100% certain what's going on. Gerald is aware. The bay is about to finish. Here comes that move out. Nicoract is committed, and what do we have to work with? We have 13 Marines, 8 Marauders, and Stim. Not just Stim, we have Combat Shield and +1 as well. A very strong 3 racks timing. Is moving out across the map. Gerald was unable to slow this down. He picks off a Reaper, but there comes a Stim. Stalkers do blink away. Colossus is almost done. We're going to have to buy time with those force fields. And we do force field the choke point, almost at the ramp. Force field is solid. Shield battery is ready. Overcharge as well. And the Colossus does arrive just in time. And just like that, Gerald holds. Gerald does hold. And will deflect the main army. Nicoract scans, gets eyes on the 3rd base. As we mentioned before, Nicoract cannot touch this 3rd base, not without medevacs. The 3rd base is safe and sound. The Terran player has to retreat. So far, a solid start here for Gerald. He's getting a 3rd, he's defended, getting to Colossus, moving out for a counterattack. And Nicoract is vulnerable. There are no medevacs, yes, there's no way to really sustain this army. It's still low. Getting a Marauder. So we can now sustain the army. We can now get away with stimming a little bit more freely with those medevacs. And likewise, we can also drop and threaten the 3rd base. This is fully operational. And Nicoract is still building up. 3rd CC's on the way. The Observer gets caught out. And here comes the drop gets spotted! We caught one Observer, but not the other. So big scout from Gerald. He's fully aware of what's going on, and here comes the intercept. Stalkers are getting ready. Do we overshoot though? It's gonna be close. We're looking for the medevacs, and Gerald, he will find them. But unable to snipe them. And just a little bit misplaced. Instead forced to recall at the same time. Another push on the right hand side. As the army does come together, do we have a force field? We don't. But we do have 2 Colossus. That's good enough. And the main army does collapse in. Nice concave for the Zealots. Likewise for these Stalkers as well. Do have to respect the Marauders. Gerald pulls away. Nicoract races back. Forces Stim back home. Is forces Stim back. And as the dust does settle, both players are on 3 bases. I would say the 4th for Geralt is late. A very late 4th base, actually. So Nicoract is going to be able to take an economic lead. Yeah, 4 should have been thrown down by now. It's now on the way for Geralt. Is quite late. Geralt now working towards the 2nd rover. Getting ready for disruptors. +2. Oh my god, he went up to 4 Colossus. Okay. And now we see where the 4th base went. Initially into the Colossus. Does explain things. Likewise, Nicoract still building up, getting to Viking production. Ghost Academy just now did begin. Ooh, and Nicoract is going to move out initially here. Does have a massive supply lead. And he does catch the first Colossus. Yeah, the Vikings going ham. One more volley. 1 Colossus goes down. Overcharge not quite ready. And we don't have any force fields. Yeah, we just go for the dive. We go for the stim. And Nicoract, he's breaking through. He shuts down the Colossus, the Stalkers as well. And we're looking to make a series out of this. Gerald may have taken the first game, but here in game number 2, we're snowballing out of control. We take down every single Colossus. The Disruptors are too little too late. And the Nova is denied. And Nicoract, he's snowballing out of control. He's broken it through the 4th base. We get the mineral line, we get the Nexus itself. And there's just nothing left for Gerald. There's just nothing left back at home. We can keep going. Nicoract can keep pushing. We have more Disruptors coming out. But the Gateway Army is just not good enough. Not against this many Marauders. And we're stepping in. We just stem in once again. We have 2 Disruptors still in production. GG gets called. It's just too much. And Nicoract will tap the series 1-1. GG. GG, well played. Nicoract with that 3-racks build wasn't able to really get too much damage done, but what he was able to do was contain. He was able to successfully contain Gerald. We did see that Nicoract was able to get into a much faster 3rd base, able to take advantage of it, and able to even exceed the economy, exceed the resources gained compared to his opponent, compared to Gerald. And with that, just mass up a massive army. And GG. GG, well played. We have a back and forth. We have a series. We're now getting into game number 3. Oh boy. Gonna be loading into Oceanborn. There we go. Loading into Oceanborn. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have our blue Polish Protoss player representing Slashstorm Gaming. Stumbling a little bit in that last game, being forced into a tied up series, but can he bring it back? It is Gerald. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Terran player representing the Platinum Heroes. Tying things up and fighting back in that last game with a bit of momentum on his side, it is Nicoract. And what are we doing with that momentum? We're proxy. Of course we are. Let's go. The SCV is out on the map, and the Rax is going to be set up right outside the natural base of Gerald. Back at home, interesting location. Because of the depot placement, it looks like, yeah, we're going for the Rax across the map. There's no initial Rax back at home. Gases are being taken. And we'll see if Gerald can find this. But now it is checking his natural. Making sure he's safe and secure before he expands. Actually going to be scouting across the map initially instead. Did at least confirm there was no Rax in his natural itself. We can see it's right outside. Probe coming in will confirm that the Rax is missing. And I'm curious if we're just going for the initial Reaper or if we're going for something a little bit different. As the SCV does confirm, the Rax is nowhere to be found. Okay, it's just going to be the Reaper. Reaper's on the way. Back at home with double gas, we should be working towards a faster factory. There it is. Again, the building placement is interesting to me just because we're just leaving the ramp wide open. So Gerald does confirm a bunker behind the mineral line. The goal here is to deny mining time, but Gerald did not skip out on the cell. We forced a cancel. And the bunker, it's not going to come into play. Gerald, he has defended. The Reaper can still threaten the mineral line, but there won't be any kind of sustained damage at the natural. Oh, the swipe off. Not bad. First swipe goes off. Scout doesn't see much, no tech yet. Reaper production is continuing here for Nicoract. Oh, and we're going for a proxy starport. Okay. This is very committed, actually. Bearing in mind, this is proxy starport off of one base. There is still no expansion for Nicoract. No expansion inside. We shut down the Reapers. Gerald's moving out across the map. There's not much at home to defend, is what I will say. We're going into reactor to Hellion production. This should be for a Hellion drop across the map. But the armies are going to Cyclone instead. Okay. Are we going proxy lib? That would make a little bit more sense. If we make Cyclones at home and go for the Liberator across the map. For now, though, Tech Lab? Proxy Banshee? What's happening? What's going on? The Zealot has right. We zone away the Reapers. We have control of the main base. So many workers going down. Nicoract is in trouble. He's in so much trouble. But the Cyclones will soon arrive and they will shut down these Stalkers. Yeah, they get the lock-ons. They force a recall. But alas, Gerald, he still gets 7 SCVs. 7 SCVs go down. There it is. Proxy Banshee? Okay. Okay. But let him cook, Papi. Let him cook. I'm ready. I'm ready. Back at home, Gerald is going for a robo, so we're going to have access to detection. We'll have access to an observer. Observer is on the horizon. But the observer should be sent across the map. So we'll hopefully have a recall to bring it back home. Meanwhile, Nicoract can finally expand and can finally take a natural base, but this is a very late expansion for Nicoract. He was so aggressive and so assertive and so committed, and it hasn't really paid off. Not yet. As the initial observer is on the way, shield battery in the main base is done. This will buy some time. Buy some time here. Cyclone's going to be keeping tabs here on Gerald. Banshee's still building up. And there we go. We have 2 Banshees. We're getting a 3rd Banshee? Jesus. We can one-shot probes. And Nicoract, he's so committed. We have to get damage done with this. Dipping into the main. Ooh, there we go. Probes are going down. Shield battery does nothing. We got 6 probe kills so far. I say 9 probe kills. And detection's back at home, but the damage has been done. And remember, we have more Banshees on the way. The initial 2 did survive. As the Stalkers are here, and they will end up punishing the starport. They do force it to float. Will be brought down. Meanwhile, Nicoract building up, getting into mass tank production, did save all the Cyclones from the early game. And this is just such a weird composition. It's going to be tank, Cyclone, Banshee. We pull the boys as well. And Nicoract, he's going for the kill. He wants to end it here and now. The Stalkers are distracted. The Banshee, everything's distracted. The Observer does spot part of the army. Now he confirms. He sees everything. Where's the shield battery? It's not ready. It's not ready at the 3rd base. We have 1 at the natural. Immortals are amassing. And we're going for the 3rd. We may just ignore it. We ignore the 3rd base. We're going for the kill. We're going for the Immortal. Oh my god. Immortal goes down. Massive pickoff. And we keep committing. We keep pushing in. Overcharge gets popped. Stalkers coming from behind. They catch a tank. 1 tank goes down. We do deny charge. Charge is denied. Backup tanks on the way. Stalkers, they go for the dive. And they focus down another tank and another. It does cost Gerald a lot of Stalkers. But it looks like it is worth it. Reinforcements trying to catch out those Stalkers. Up. Trying. Quite able to, but the Stalkers are getting so low. Oh my god, 2 more Stalkers go down. But Nicoract is cleaned up and Gerald he defends. And the scary thing is, the 3rd base. The 3rd base did not go down. Remember, Nicoract made a choice. He made a choice to just avoid and skip the 3rd base, and he was trying to go for the kill. He was trying to straight up kill Gerald at the natural. He didn't. Now Nicoract is falling behind. Now Nicoract is down a base. Down another tank. Gerald, he dives into the main. Yeah, we blink into the main base, and there's just no stopping Gerald. Nicoract, he was so committed with that push earlier and did not break through. GG. Gerald takes a lead in the series. Does take the 2-1 lead. Again, Nicoract was basically 2-base all in, and it was a scary push. It was a terrifying move out there from Nicoract, but did not break the natural. And with that, Geralt is now 1 game away. 1 game away from taking the series. I see in the chat, which cat is the best at SE2? It has to be Miyamike. Has to be. Is the big cat on the block? Like, who's in contention? Miyamika? What? Night Phoenix? I'm sure there are Astra. Astra's also a cat. True, true. Actually, I haven't seen much from Astra recently. Is Astra still competing? Curious. I feel like it's been a while. I feel like it has been a while. Okay, okay. Apparently played in an event last month. Not too long ago. Not too long. Oh, he played in the Tech TV tournaments. Yeah. Okay, okay. First, I'm curious. Tech TV, they started hosting an event recently, and Asher did play in that. Okay. I appreciate it. Love to see it. But here we go. We're jumping into our next series, and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Amphion, we have our blue Polish Protoss player leading the series here, 1 game away from becoming our champion. Representing Sidestorm Gaming, it is Gerald. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Terran player representing the Platinum Heroes. It is Nicoract. He's up against the wall. He has to fight back here and now to force the ace match. Can we bring it home? Can we bring it back? The pressure is on Nicoract. Oh boy. We go. We are settling in. We do have Geralt moving out with a probe scout, and this time Nicoract is not going for a proxy. Again, it was a wild game previously, going for a proxy starport into Banshee with the initial proxy Rax, and it was just chaos. It was chaos. Alas, it did not quite do enough. It led into a pretty terrifying 2-base all-in, but alas, Geralt did survive it, just barely. Was able to shut it down and catch out those tanks unsieged. And Nicoract was pulled apart. But now we're in game 4. We're on Amphion, another unique map, a map that also is similar to Crimson Court in a sense, where you have a portion of the map that is cut off from the world with minerals and with rocks. But it is easier to gain access to as it's right next to your natural, so you can start working on those mineral patches a lot earlier. I should say it's similar to Crimson Court in that sense, in a way. As Reaper does dip in, the pylon block was barely not in time. We got 1 probe kill so far, not bad. Now 1 probe, dancing with the rest of the units, with the rest of the workers, denying a lot of mining time, forcing a big reaction. So far so good here for Nicoract. So keeping that adept busy. Tech has yet to be revealed. The Reaper is zoned away. And for the first time this series, it's not a Twilight Council, it's a Stargate. Interesting. Okay, it is going to be that Stargate opener from Gerald. I imagine working towards Glaive Adepts. Okay, so working towards Phoenixes. The brain is struggling a little bit. It's aye. It's been a long stay, man. A long stay. We'll get there. We'll get there. Oh my god, as that is not just the one Stargate, that is a second Stargate as well. And we have seen this build from Gerald before, specifically on this map, on Amphion. A big reason for it, the natural base is very defendable, similar to Side Delta. The ramp leading is natural, it's difficult to really break on two bases. Likewise, the third is very secure. So if there were ever a map to get away with this on, it would be Amphion. Oh boy. Meanwhile, Nicoract opening up 1-1-1, going for initially a Cyclone into drop play. This drop can get damage done, but more importantly, needs a scout. Needs a scout to confirm what exactly is going on. As the drop does move out. Does move out across the map, is spotted. Reds the pylon. But the rest of the ground army should be able to keep up. Will force Nicoract back. And it looks like we will barely get the pylon. Never mind. Pylon is getting low. And it looks like we will barely bring it down. There we go. Meanwhile, additional Phoenixes have been revealed, and it looks like we will get eyes on the second Stargate. And we do confirm one Phoenix goes down. Another bit of a misrally as well, taking a lot of damage. We will clean this up, but it was a messy defense here for Gerald. Only losing the one Phoenix. Behind this, thankfully, because Nicoract did scouts, we have more Vikings. More Vikings are on the way. As much anti-air as we can muster. And the boys are being pulled. We're committed. We are committed. We pull the boys at the natural. We barely leave anything back at home. And the reason why we pull the boys is because we recognize, hold up, if you have this many Phoenixes, you must have barely anything on the ground. That's the scary thing about these Phoenix-based builds, is that you are quite vulnerable. You have very little on the ground to support your main army. Phoenixes, they can pick up high-tech units, but what about something like this? SCVs, Vikings, Mass Marine. It's going to be a tough hold for Gerald. Not impossible, but tough. Phoenixes, they do lift the first tank. They tried to, but the Phoenix is targeted down. Big tank volleys going off. We have the overcharge. But Nicoract does maintain this position. Well, another Phoenix goes down. An easy hold. Tank shots once again going off. Oh, good. Tank volleys are brutal. We're waiting for the Immortal. The Immortal is going to be a secure way to break through. You know, when we catch reinforcements, we do catch a tank. Very nice pickup. At the same time, Nicoract, he goes for the dive. Gets a gateway. The Immortal has arrived. We lift the tanks. Yeah, the Vikings land. The tanks are lifted. And it looks like Nicoract is being cleaned up. Landing the Vikings was a bold move, but it meant that the Phoenixes, they can just wreak havoc. The Phoenixes, they go to town. And Nicoract, he's running out of steam. He's running out of units, running out of army. Ooh. A bit of miscontrol out of Gerald, though. Oh, he bleeds out two more Phoenixes. Can Nicoract pull this off? There's only one Stalker. Yeah, one Stalker left. We have the overcharge. We barely keep the Stalker alive. Oh my god. Expensive losses for Gerald. And Nicoract, even though he pulled the boys earlier, he has rebuilt. And this third base is so late for Gerald. So Nicoract may not have killed Gerald, but he has done enough damage to justify this. Justify the move out. As long as they don't overextend and lose another tank. As I am a little concerned. Another tank has arrived. The Nexus. He's going up. Do catch reinforcements. They're based under fire. And we're going for the tank. Do we have any lifts? Ooh. The Immortal's being targeted down, but we do get within range of the shield battery. And again, we need supports. Phoenix is now coming in. They get a tank. It's not pretty, but we're barely holding on. We're barely surviving. Viking dropping into the main. Marines are being chased down. And Nicoract gets 4 probe kills. Back at home, Nicoract, he does have a worker lead. He does have an economic advantage. Gerald just lost so much in that defense. And Nicoract, he's looking good. He's up in workers, he's up in army supply, has a more efficient army as well. This Mass Phoenix needs to get damage done. Does need to get damage here. Gerald trying to rotate. But we have turrets, we have marines. Nicoract's looking pretty secure. And Nicoract, he needs so much time to recover to get into Colossus production. And we just pull the board. Yeah, we pull the board for a second time. Once again, the logic is sound here for Nicoract. And Gerald is mainly relying on Mass Phoenix. Like, there's nothing on the ground. There's 1 Immortal, there's 3 Stalkers, and soon 1 Colossus. The Colossus is going to be huge. The Colossus is going to be a big part here of the defense. But is 1 Colossus enough to deal with all of this? Force fields. We need force fields. We're now up to 2 Colossus. Are we? No, sorry. Just the 1. Never mind. For some reason, I thought I saw 2 Colossus in production. But we just have the 1. Oh, there were 2 Colossus in production. Yeah, we denied the Robo. Second Robo was at the natural. Ay. So exposed. And the third base is going to go down. Now we can push towards the natural. Gerald being supply blocked as well is brutal. And can we bust in? Nice force fields. Second Colossus does make it. Yo, with 2 Colossus, we can pull this off. We can take the fight. We can, and we will. And we get the final tank. The Colossus, they do so much damage. They pull away in time. 1 Colossus goes down. And can we get the second? We cannot. We barely can't. GG gets called, and Nicoract, he was so committed. He brought down the third, but he doesn't break through the natural. GG, and Gerald, he will survive and take the series 3-1, becoming the JEC Open champion. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations. Oh. GG, well played. Congratulations to Gerald as he does claim the series, as he is going to be our champion here tonight. My condolences to Nicoract. Honestly, I didn't mind his play at all. Like, to go for these all-ins, to pull the boys here, especially when Gerald had so little to defend, I feel like was the right call to make. Unfortunately, part of me feels like maybe we spent a little bit too much time at the third. You're right, maybe we spent a little bit too much time there. We gave Gerald the opportunity to get a second Colossus. And if we were able to break through the natural when there was still only 1 Colossus, maybe there would have been enough there to break the natural and to get on top of the production. It's possible. I mean, regardless, GG, well played. Gerald, he does pull off the defense. He does survive and is our champion. Congratulations to Gerald. A big shout out to Nicoract as well, because Nicoract making to the finals was not easy. It was not an easy feat here for Nicoract to make it past Cristiano, to make it into the top 2. So very impressive stuff. Nicoract still walks away with a good amount of prize money, and not just Nicoract, it's top 4. Top 4 get paid out here in the JEC Open. Not just top 4, also a random player got a prize as well. And we have confirmation. Shout out to Eddie, by the way, the lovely owner of OSC Esports and the admin of today's tournament. Eddie did let us know earlier that Moja walks away with 5 USD. So congratulations to the top 4. Congratulations to Gerald, Honmono, Nicoract, and Cristiano. And also a shout out to Moja as well, as we were able to feature him earlier today. Moja popped off against Forjumi, struggled against Honmono, but walks away with 5 USD. GG. GG, well played. Well played. And with that, we are wrapping up for today. We're wrapping up. The Colossus is going to be huge. Well, never seen them small. Oh, true, Iceland, true. You're an animal. GG, well played. I apologize for jumbling up my words a little bit here in this broadcast. Again, this is our third broadcast of the day. We casted KSL into MSO into JEC, and I was a little bit loopy throughout the broadcast. So I do apologize, but we made it. We made it to the end, and now the sweet embrace of sleep can take us. It's gonna be beautiful. we can actually get some veg. If you want some more StarCraft content, if you are unsatiated, if you want some more StarCraft 2 action, then we got you covered tomorrow with the Sparkling Tuna Cup, and we typically feature very similar players. Gerald, Nicoract, alongside Cristiano, Hon Mono, and many of these other online tournament regulars will also be featured most likely tomorrow in Sparkling Tuna Cup, so be sure to tune in. That's going to be in less than 24 hours. So we're going to be live on the channel with some tuna action. Do love to see it. Likewise, we also have some more content planned. Up ahead of us, we have the ESL Open Cups, ESL Open Cup Asia, ESL Open Cup Americas, and your typical events throughout the week. We have Code for Giants Cup, we have WTL. Next weekend is the return and the finale of World Team League. World Team League, the playoffs are Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Make sure you're there for the finale of WTL. Likewise, the House Galactic Battle is also on Saturday night. So I say Saturday night, the entire day of Saturday is dedicated to the House Galactic Battle. So that is an offline event in Poland. If you want to see our JEC champion, Gerald, Cristiano, Laser, Spirit, and many other players in Poland will be facing off in the House Galactic Battle. We're going to have player cams, we're going to have a live broadcast from the Polish casters, of course. Going to have a feed available to, have a look at the crowd, have a look at the venue. It's going to be an amazing event. Be sure you're there as we can crown our next Prince of Poland. Let's go. Let us go. As the current Prince of Poland, Cristiano, is going to be there to hold on to that crown and to maintain his position in the hierarchy of Polish players. So yeah, that's going to be next week. A lot to come, and we have more things planned for the future as well. Other events yet to be announced, so get excited for what's to come as well, coming into September. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the support. We do appreciate you. We appreciate you, Papi. Hope you've been enjoying the content. ! Socials in the chat if you guys want a link to all of our social medias. One moment. I got the payouts for you. There we go. But there we go. Socials in the chat. You can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Discord. All things CranKy Ducklings. We stream on Twitch and YouTube at the same time. So, alas, if you prefer one platform over the other, then we got you covered with YouTube. Likewise, we also have VODs available immediately on YouTube as well under the live tab. So, plenty of content. If you cannot watch live, we got you covered with the VOD content. We got you covered, back. Here we go. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the support. We are going to be wrapping up for the time being. And again, we're going to be live once again tomorrow with the Sparkling Tuna Cup. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Stick around. We're going to be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid. We'll find someone to send our love over to. We'll find someone. We'll find someone. So give them a chance. Give them some support. Otherwise, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Until then, thanks for watching. Hasta luego. Ciao, papi. Ciao. Hasta luego. Also, if you want to help support us, you can support us via Patreon. Patreon is there if you wish to support us via that. Likewise, check out OSC Esports on all the social medias. And we'll see you mañana. Hasta luego.